Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to the Kids Who Read Well Phonogram Workbook videos. My name is Mrs. Ashley, and I'm going to be your teacher. It's so nice to meet everyone. Can you hear that beautiful music playing there in the background? Yeah, that is Mozart, classical music. It's really good for studying and reading and learning. If you're ever home doing your homework or reading a book or just studying the material that you learned that day at school, tell Alexa to turn on a little Mozart so that you can concentrate really well. It sounds so beautiful and it's so peaceful too. Well, today we are going to be working from the Kids Who Read Well Phonogram Workbook. It's a workbook full of all the sounds you need to learn in order to read really well. I'm sure some of these sounds you're already learning at school, and then some of them get a little bit left behind. So this one book is going to teach you all of the sounds that you need to be a really, really good reader. And we're going to learn it together. How cool is that? So tell your parents to click down below for Amazon link to get you this workbook so that we can work together. All you need for this class is your workbook, a pencil, and maybe a few crayons if you choose. Well, thank you for joining us. And today we are going to look at the very first phonogram in our book. You guessed it, it's letter A. Wow, this is the first letter that most of us learn when we're learning our sounds. I see the letter A there. I also see a hand there above lowercase a. It's holding the number 3. Let's read what it says. This phonogram makes 3 sounds. Use the words below to help you touch and say the phonogram and its sounds. I see apple, so I have a. I see an acorn, I have a. And then I see water, ah. Those are my 3 sounds for A. Let's say them together. A, ah. Good job. Let's try that again. A, ah. Awesome job. Every time we see the letter A, we can almost guess that it makes one of these 3 sounds. And if you come across a word that you've never seen before, you can use what you know to sound out that word. Use all the sounds until you come to a word that sounds really familiar to you. Yeah, and we'll work on that a little later in the videos. Well, let's see. The next step says, these words make the sounds of A. Can you think or find other words that have the same sounds and draw a picture below? Yeah, I think we can do that. We already sounded out apple, apple. And we see that apple makes the sound ah in apple. Very good. I really like apples. And there are so many different kinds of apples to choose from. There are red ones and green ones and yellow ones. Some are called Granny Smith apples. Some are called Jazz and Gala apples. There's so many different kinds. You should choose your favorite kind of apple and eat it. Eat it very often. I hear they keep the dentist away. The next picture is acorn. Acorn. I don't know much about acorns. I know they fall off the trees in the fall. I also know that I always see squirrels running to get acorns. They run across the street or they run across the field trying to get those acorns so they can store them for the wintertime. Because once it gets cold and once the snow hits the ground, it's really hard for them to find those acorns. Do you know any other animals that eat acorns? Hmm, me either. When I don't know something, I love to look it up on the internet. So I call it Googling. Let's Google some animals that love to eat acorns. There's that squirrel. We knew about squirrels eating acorns. Here he is. Wow, he's adorable. Oh, I didn't know birds eat acorns too. Wow, I'm learning so many new things about acorns. Did you know pigs eat acorns? I had no idea that pigs ate acorns. Hmm, that's a new one. Oh, are those bear cubs? Bear cubs eat acorns too? Oh, wow, that's a lot of animals that eat acorns. And look at all the really, really cute animals. And it's possible that even goats eat acorns. Really fun. Well, we learned some new things about acorns. Don't forget, bears eat acorns, and pigs eat acorns, even birds eat acorns. Those squirrels had better watch out, or they're going to be out of acorns. Oh, my next picture. It looks like a bottle of water. Who doesn't love a refreshing glass of water on a really hot day? Or when you've just finished playing outside with your friends or at recess with your classmates? Oh, water is so yummy when you're really tired. But don't forget to also drink water, even when you're not tired. We should drink 8 glasses of water a day. Yeah, that's a lot of water, but you can do it to stay healthy. Hmm. Can we think of any other words that may have the phonogram A? The word can make the sound ah or a or ah, either sound. Hmm, I know. What about an alligator? There's a favorite song I know. Monkeys were jumping in the tree. Along comes Mr. Alligator, quiet as can be. And he slapped that monkey right out of that tree. I like that song, but poor, poor monkeys. I think they were making fun of the alligator and he came and smacked them out of that tree. Probably not really smart. Well, grab your pencils and your crayons and let's get creative. Let's draw those pictures of any sounds for letter A. And we said alligator. I'm going to draw my alligator like this. Let's give him some really sharp teeth because alligators have really sharp teeth. We don't want them to snatch us out of a tree. Oh no. I'm going to give him 2 eyes. And then I'm going to have those eyes looking at the apple. Maybe he wants to eat that apple. There we go. There's my alligator. And let's also write the word alligator. I think I can sound that one out. Ah, there's my A. Ooh, I think there are 2 L's. G. A. I'm going to close that A up there. Oh, done. Alligator. I'm going to underline the A in alligator just to remind me that the A makes one of the 3 sounds. A, ah. Yeah, very good. What else can we think of that has the sound A or A or ah? Whatever you think of, you can draw a picture below too. Hmm. What about a blanket? Do you sleep with a blanket at night? I know I do. I love to feel nice and warm when I sleep. Let's draw a blanket. Let's see. Hmm. First, I'm going to draw a bed. Yeah, here's my bed. Here's my bed. I think I need a pillow. So I'm going to draw my pillow on my bed. Yeah. And then I'm going to draw a pink blanket. There we are. There's my pink blanket. There we go. It's my pink blanket on my bed. I'm not the best artist in the world, but you know, I do what I can. I'm going to draw an arrow right there to my blanket. And if you have something different, feel free to draw it on your paper and maybe ask someone for help on how to spell that word so you can write it there. Very good. All right, we're all done with our pictures. We have an apple, an acorn, water, alligator, and blanket. Very good, boys and girls. Well, it looks like we're not quite finished yet. The next part of the page says, start on the black dot to trace the letters. Then practice in the free space. Okay, well, that sounds pretty easy. But before we get started, I think we should talk about the lines that we see there. They gave us 3 lines when it's time to write our letters, and each of these lines has a name. Here, the first line is called the top line. And then the line there in the middle is called the mid line or the dotted line because it's actually a whole bunch of dots going across the page. And then that last line at the bottom there is called our base line, the base line. We usually start our tall letters at the top line, take them all the way down to the base line, and then the midline is where our smaller letters will begin, or sometimes it's where they hit them in the middle and then come down to the baseline. We'll give it a try together. I'm going to change my color. You can feel free to grab another crayon in a different color, or maybe you just want to use your pencil, whatever you like. So there's uppercase A. Uppercase A is the big A. She's kind of like the mama A. We're going to put our pencil right there on the black dot. We'll trace the dotted line down on the left side first. So we're starting at the top, tracing down on the left side first. Then we'll pick up our pencil, go back to the dot, and trace down on the right side. And lastly, we will cross it in the middle. Wow, that was easy too. Let's try it one more time. Put your pencil on the black dot on the uppercase A, trace it down on the left side, pick your pencil back up, trace it down on the right side, pick your pencil back up, and cross it in the middle for letter A. A, A. Very good, boys and girls. Let's practice some in the free space. So our uppercase A, we'll put our pencil on the top line, right there where I just put that blue dot, and we'll trace it down on the left side first, starting at the top line, tracing all the way down to the baseline, because this is uppercase A. Then come back to the top line and trace it down on the right side, all the way down to the baseline, and cross it in the middle on the midline. Great job. Let's try it one more time, all by ourselves. Put your pencil on the top line, trace it all the way down to the baseline, pick your pencil back up, to the top line, trace it again down on the right side, and cross it in the middle. Perfect. Looks like we have lowercase letter to draw too. Put your pencil on lowercase a where the black dot is, and we're going to trace that dotted line around to the left. I'm going around to the left, close that A back up, and drop it down to trace the tail on the A. Notice when we draw lowercase a, we do not pick our pencil back up. So be very careful on where you start your circle. If you start it to the right a little bit, you can go up and over and around and close it up and drop it back down without ever having to pick your pencil back up. So I'm going to put my pencil right there where that blue dot is I just drew on the screen. And we will trace that blue dot all the way up and around and close it up and then drop that stem back down. Let's try a few on our own to make sure we can draw that circle perfectly to close it up and drop it back down. So I'm going to put a dot right there to show you where you should start. If you need to draw a dot, please do so. I drew my dot right under the midline so that I can take my circle up and over and around, close it up, and draw my stem back down. Let's do that a few more times. I'm going to put a dot right under that midline so that I can trace my circle up and around, close it up, and drop it back down. And for a few more times, up, around, up, close it, and back down. Up and around, close it, and back down. Let's do a few more on the bottom lines. Drawing my dot, and I'm going to go up to the dotted line, circle around, close it up, and drop my stem back down. Drawing my dot again, tracing my circle up and around, close it, and back down. Drawing my dot, tracing my circle up and around, close it, and back down. And there you have it, boys and girls. What a fabulous job you've done today. If anything were a little too difficult, feel free to close your notebook and come back to this later. Reading and learning to read and learning your sounds should be a fun, enjoyable time. So if you get a little frustrated, just come back later. Put me on pause and I'll see you when you're ready. Well, boys and girls, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that if you don't have your Kids Who Read workbook, you'll tell your parents to click that Amazon link below where they can get their very own physical book just for you. If you have a printer at home, there's also the ebook version where you can print out each sheet when you're ready. Well, thank you for joining me today. I can't wait to see you again. Goodbye.